Ease your loaf and make some serious dough. Lord Sugar sets the candidates a bakery task on The Apprentice tonight at 9. Right now on BBC One, making a profit from property.
Hello. Now, one thing you'll want to do if you're buying property is make sure you buy at the right price.
So how do you know what the market is doing? Is it going up or is it going down?
One way you can find out is to take a trip down to your local auction house. Well, auctions are really exciting and it's very easy to be tempted to buy. But to guarantee success, you need to do your homework first.
So let's find out what properties created interest on today's show.
In Chatham, Kent, I find that outside appearances can be deceptive.
Wow! Do you know what? This house is like a TARDIS.
Is it time to ring the changes at this house in Devon? Oh, love that!
And we revisit a London property we first saw in 2008, when it was just waiting to be developed.
This is a renovation project on a large mammoth scale.
All these properties have been sold at auction, and we find out who bought them and what they paid for them when they went under the hammer. Right.
I'm in Chatham, Kent, once one of the busiest naval dockyards in the country. The HMS Victory, Nelson's flagship at the Battle of Trafalgar, was launched from here in the 18th century.
So what was up for auction in historic Chatham, you may wonder? Well, it was this two-bedroom mid-terrace property in a largely residential area. My first impressions, well, small, a bit shabby and in need of a good paint job. But I know from experience never to judge a book by its cover.
And the guide price, 55 to 65,000. In the auction catalogue, the property's described as having 2 bedrooms, a kitchen and 3 reception rooms. How can that many rooms squeeze into such a small house? Let's find out.
Can't judge a book by looking at the cover. Come on.
Step inside and you're straight into the living room. Now, from the outside, it looks like your standard terrace, 2 up, 2 down. I move out of the living room and you come to this steep flight of stairs and a really long corridor. You've got a big old cupboard here, and then there's the bathroom and the toilet where you'd expect the kitchen to be. At the back of the property, straight away, I'm thinking layout issues here. But where is that kitchen? Do you think they'd have put it upstairs on the first floor?
The dark and dingy stairway leads to the bedrooms. Both desperately need sprucing up, but they are well proportioned. But still, I can't find a kitchen.
Now, I've walked around, I've looked at all the windows in this property, and a lot of them are rotting, they need replacing, and for the security conscious amongst us, these panes, look, literally slide straight out. Now, you may think double glazing is relatively expensive, but the long-term benefits can extend way beyond simply recouping your investment in cost savings. It helps to keep your house warm. The extra insulation provided by double glazing means you can turn the heating down, saving you money, and for the more environmentally conscious, reducing your CO2 emissions. Fantastic.
However, of course, the cost of double glazing an entire house could shatter a developer's budget. The property has a great garden space, which, with lots of work and a little money, could be a major selling point. I've explored the ground floor and the first floor. Now it's down to the basement and hopefully the kitchen.
Wow! Do you know what? This house is like a TARDIS. There's 3 rooms down here on the lower ground floor. You've got a sort of junk room in there where there's no window and lots of old rubbish piled up. a reception room, and there's the kitchen. I found it. It's bolted on to the back of the property. You've certainly got a lot of square footage here. You would never think this house is this big, hidden away on sort of 3 levels. Clearly, it needs a lot of work in here, completely redecorating. And there's something that does worry me now. I think somebody's already been investigating this, but look, the carpet's been moved, lots of old, dusty old wood everywhere, and if you lift up this floorboard, signs of severe rotting joists. That would worry me, and it could end up being a costly job.
The guide price for this house was $55,000 to $65,000. I asked a local estate agent for her opinion on it.
The property is in state of disrepair and it is going to need a fair amount of work. Again, it does have problems with damp and timber infestation, so they really do need to be checked out seriously.
What could the resale value be?
Once this property's renovated, then I think in this market we'd be looking at around about £105,000 to £110,000.
And rental returns?
Generally, we're looking at about £550 per month or £575 per calendar month.
So this is higgledy-piggledy house. It does have character, but it really needs the internal layout to be changed. The lower ground floor needs to have the kitchen opened up to get some more light in there. But I do think it's unusual, and there is a lot of square footage here for the money. Let's see what happened when it went under the hammer.
55, 65 is cheap value for this. Where do you want to start me? £55,000 to start me? Be brave. 55, I'm obliged. 55 I've got. Now 58. 58 I want, and 60, and 60, and 2, 62, 62,005, 65, 65 I've got, and 8, it's against you, 68, 68, 68, and 70, if it's 70 I've got, and 2, 72,000, 72, 72, and 5, 75, £72,000 I've got, I'll take one if it helps you, 73, 74, you won't get another chance for this one, 74,005, 75,000, and 76 now, 76, 76 I've got, and 7, so 77 at the back, just one bidder though, be brave, come on, 78,000, 79, that was nicely done, 2, I think there's 79, is it? 79, yes, yeah, 79 I've got, 80 now, at 80. £79,000 then sitting down on the left-hand side, 80 I want, and we were done at £79,000. Sell for the first time at 79, second time at 79, third and final time, I'm sure you're all done. It's yours at £79,000, and your card number, please.
It was Richard who sneaked in there with that final bid of $79,000. He plans to renovate this property with his son, trainee plasterer Mark.
Wow, Richard, what an exciting auction that was. Loads of bidders. You came in right at the end there.
I did.
With that cheeky little bid. Happy with what you paid for this?
I am. 79,000.
I mean, that's a good price, isn't it?
Yeah, my maximum was 80.
Oh, do you know what, though? You really did leave it right till the end.
I know.
Threw up your bid, and then somebody else came in, and then you got it on the next one, didn't you?
But the thing, I was thinking about another property I was going to go for, but yeah, I went for this one anyway. It was good. It was good.
So what was it about this property that you liked so much? Because for me, when you walk in through the front door, you cannot believe the size of the place.
That's right, it is.
To think there is a floor up there, a floor down there, you just don't expect that, do you?
It's kind of quirky, isn't it, with the bathroom at the back there. I thought that was kind of nice. I like a big bathroom. I think the trend nowadays is for large bathrooms anyway, and I'm not going to move it. It's going to stay exactly where it is.
Richard grew up in Kent and joined the Royal Navy in the early 70s. He eventually ended up working in IT before embarking on his career as a property developer. He wants to use the renovation of this house to help his son Mark get more experience and learn other trades.
So how many years of experience of renovating and decorating and pulling walls down have you had?
5 years.
5 years? That's not a huge amount of experience, really.
No, well, I was an IT consultant before I went into this game, but this is far more rewarding, believe me.
Do Joe is going to do all the work. I mean, there is a fair bit of work here. Come on, there's a lot of work to do. It's in a pretty bad state.
Yeah, well, I shall get my son to come in and do some of the sort of, you know, stripping the wallpaper, doing the plastering and skirting boards and stuff like that. I do the laminate flooring and decorate. I mean, this is just basic stuff. I've got to put central heating in here for a start.
You do all this work?
I do everything.
Can you really take all this on? I mean,
I've done it for
quite a
years.
challenge.
I've done it for years. I've always had the policy of if somebody else can come in and do something, then why can't I? I can do it as well. I'm very practical. I'm extremely practical.
He's going to need to be practical here, with those rotting floors and possible issues with damp. Richard obviously thrives on challenge. He's not scared by the current condition, more excited by the property's potential.
So what sort of budget have you got to do the work here?
Well, I've done a preliminary. I reckon about £8,500 to do most of the work, because obviously I do it myself, so the costs a lot less.
So how long do you think this project is going to take you?
Well, I think between 3 to 4 months.
So are you going to be spending every waking hour in this house putting it right?
Yeah, if I have to.
What does your wife and your son think of all this?
They support me. They support me.
So they're quite happy to lose you to
in
property?
fact, it was my wife who said, oh, you need a project.
She was just trying to get you out of the house.
No, she wasn't. I don't believe it.
So you've certainly got a project on your hands.
I have.
It's going to be really exciting finding out how well you do.
Yes.
Good luck with this project.
Yes, thank you.
And we will catch up with you soon. Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You've got to give it to him. Richard is extremely optimistic. His enthusiasm is infectious, but I'm worried with a 3-month timescale and the fact he's going to do all the work himself. I think he may have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. Find out what happens later on in the programme.
Today I'm in Plymouth on the South Devon coast. This harbour city has a rich maritime history and is popular with students studying at the local university. I'm here to see a 3-bedroomed mid-terrace character property that's in a really well-established residential area. You've got local amenities close by, the city centre isn't too far away. Now, given that similar properties around here sell for well over £100,000, the fact that this had a guide price of just £80,000 makes it definitely worth a look. The house is in a Victorian terrace, which seems to be pretty well maintained. It boasts some beautiful architectural features, including ornate arches and decorative stonework. Let's hope there's more like that behind the front door. So what's it like inside? Oh, what's that? Oh, love that! Oh, an original bell. Fantastic. I wonder how many more original features there'll be. Oh, that's a good start as well. This frosted glass. Very typical of the period that this property was built. Sadly, the front room looks like some of the original features have been covered up, but maybe hiding behind that fireplace there is something which is a bit more appealing. Rear sitting room there, and then down this little corridor, obviously you've got stairs up to the bedrooms, understair cupboard. The rear door is there, and then through to the rear of the property where you've got the kitchen. Now, clearly, this is in a right old state, total refurbishment required, but not a bad space, and actually not a bad start. The front room is a good size and, if sympathetically restored with a period fireplace, could be beautiful. The rear sitting room is a bit tight, but could be used to relocate a kitchen or bathroom or as an extra bedroom. Plenty of original features are still present, and I think there's a really stunning home here, not so far beneath the surface. So at the back of the property, a little sort of storage area, courtyard here, somewhere to store your bikes or coal, and then something really useful at the very back, a little workshop. Now, that's actually right underneath the upstairs loo, so an obvious thing to do, as far as I'm concerned, would be maybe extend the kitchen into this area, maybe make this a downstairs loo where you've got all the pipe work for the sewage, etc. Definitely worth doing, shouldn't be too much trouble, and I think you'd add a lot of value and space to the